pull up a seat. Hello, everybody. My name is Angel Anise. I'm the supervising video producer for L.com and a proud member of HBC, Hearst Black Culture, and we are back for another round of Quarantinis. So Quarantinis is a virtual happy hour where we check in with our favorite celebrities and see how they're doing while staying safe and staying home. And before we get into this evening's special guest, I'm going to throw it over to Miss Sandy Pierre, who is 1/3 of the HBC founding team.
Yay. Thank you, Angel. Well, thank you, Yvonne, for joining us. Like, we love you so much. So to even have you here has been amazing. So just to give you a backstory about Hearst Black Culture, we are Hearst Magazine's affinity group, also known as Employee Resource Group. We started a little over a year ago, and it basically was created because of the lack of representation at Hearst Magazines. We didn't see ourselves in articles or even in the bodies within Hearst. So we wanted to create a safe space for Black employees, be a sounding board for Hearst editorial. So if they're working on any Black related pieces, we can be that gut check for them and just like help HR recruit more diverse talent. So we started these Quarantinis. I feel like we've been in quarantine forever, but like it would have been like 5-6 months and it's just grown. So we're so thankful and happy to even have you here. So we really appreciate you. And we're gonna have this like fun kiki moment and I'll kick it off to NECA and she'll start it off.
Hi, I'm NECA. I am the sales coordinator for direct media here at Hearst on the corporate side. And I would be doing everyone a disservice if I did not read a little bio about you to the people.
We don't need the full bio, just small.
Just a tidbit, okay? So, Yvonne Oriji is a Nigerian-born, US-raised actress, comedian, podcast host, writer, and author. She is the proud product of immigrant parents who have always pushed her for success. She is most commonly known for her role as Molly on the hit HBO show Insecure. And this season was an absolute roller coaster, from a rocky friendship to Condola being preggers with Lawrence's baby. But we'll get into the messiness later. As a comedian, Yvonne has opened up for Chris Rock and recently landed her own comedy special on HBO called Mama, I Made It, and it's absolutely hilarious. But you would know she was funny already if you have listened to her heavily downloaded podcast, Jesus and Jollof. Unfortunately, we do not have all the time in the world to say all the wonderful things that come to mind when we think Yvonne Oriji, but just know we are honored to be in the presence of an Emmy-nominated / future Emmy Award-winning queen. Without further ado, Miss Yvonne Oriji.
Turn up, turn up, turn up. Thank you guys so much. I was like, ooh, yes. Okay, I can do that.
That was you. And how has quarantine been for you so far?
I think it's been the roller coaster that it's been for a lot of people. You know, I think in the beginning it was like, okay, well we're gonna be here for like 2 weeks. You know, I did need a break. You know, I did need to settle down, and then it was like, oh no, we're gonna be here for a little bit longer. Okay, cool. Okay, well, Lord, what would you have me to do in this season? You know, and then it was just like busy. Issa and I would be like, who are all these people who are bored in quarantine? Because I think everybody knows I'm home now, so they just keep throwing stuff my way, and I'm tired of this. And then it was like, hold up, girl, outside about to open up back up again. So take this time to do nothing. So I've kind of gone through all of the cycles.
The cycles, definitely. I feel that. And you're always really booked and busy, which leads to my question that Alyssa has for us. So Alyssa, you're up.
Hi. So I'm Alyssa. I am a cinematographer at Men's Health. My question for you is, this year you dropped a comedy special and were nominated for an Emmy for your role in Insecure, which is amazing. Do you ever get overwhelmed with your busy schedule? And if you do, what are some things you do to protect your energy? Because you have incredible energy, so we just want some tips.
Oh, thank you. I do get overwhelmed, and I know when I don't balance my busy with my peace, because I get irritated. Because then it's like, well, why do you want me to do? Then it's like, wait, that shouldn't be my reaction. Like, it's just basically, that's when I need to be like, okay, no, I should just tell them no. I should just tell them I don't want to do this, or I am not able to do this. Or like, it's protecting your space, your peace, and your boundaries. And then it's also like, I recognize that I'm more agitated when my day starts and I'm just going, as opposed to when it starts. And I put on the Calm app or the Shine app. If you guys are not up on the Shine app, which is for brown people, y'all should be up on the Shine app, which is like a meditation app. And so it's just like, okay, when I ease into my night and ease into my morning, I'm a little bit more like calm. In quarantine, I mean, I've always loved taking baths. So like any hotel I go to, I'm like, if it don't have a soaker tub, what are we doing? But in quarantine, I've just been soaking, and like for 4 hours. And I was like, God, what are we doing this week? Like, what you want to try? What are you trying to say? What have you been trying to download that I have not made time for? And it's just those check-ins that help me not be as irritated as I could be.
Thank you so much. That was great.
Yeah, we definitely need like the calm Zen tips, because everything has been super crazy for everybody, especially here in New York. And my other question following that is, I'm Nigerian American, and I too have faced some struggle when it comes to defining success in my life. And my parents and I often have two definitions of exactly what that is. And you talked about this a lot in your comedy special, but can you also talk about the redefining of success in terms of your own life versus the definition of success your parents have for you?
But I think you're constantly redefining success. I was just talking about this with someone earlier today, and really success is contentment, just on a larger tip, because I was like, it's easy to read the trades and be like, wait, what they doing? Wait, what are they doing? Well, do I want that? And it's just like, if you got to ask yourself, do I want that? It's like, you don't want that. Because like the things that come from you are the things that naturally are like, yo, this is what I want to do. And this is why. And then this is how I feel like it would benefit my life, or how I can contribute to this, as opposed to just like, I'm trying to stack. And it's just like, okay, stack and then what? Because I've definitely stacked and been like, why am I not happy? So the happiness doesn't come with just the stacking. The happiness comes when you're like, I'm good in my lane. And I recognize that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And I also recognize that I am further along than I have ever thought I could be, but I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but I'm okay. And at the same time, it's like, when you realize that everybody has their season, you really don't trip out. You just allow people to have their seasons and know that like your season is bomb too. And when it comes to, especially like immigrant parents, especially it's interesting, because at the end of the day, they're really just doing the best with what they need to do. So it's actually not their fault. It would be as if they didn't love us if they didn't try to like corral us into the thing that makes the most sense for them. But every generation is supposed to outlast and outdo the previous generation. So we're kind of the ones, we are their wildest dreams. We were the teachers. We say the slogan like, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Well, our parents are our ancestors. So it's like, we are their wildest dreams too, because never in my mom's life could she have imagined that like her daughter would be an Emmy-nominated actress. It's like, that's not even a dream that she could have had for me. But what she did for me that I have to appreciate is that she gave me the opportunity by just bringing me over here. If all my mom ever did was bring me across the seas and drop me in Maryland and was like, Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo, I would be like, I appreciate you, because this wouldn't have happened anywhere else. So thanks. And so once you, I think, just stop there, as opposed to having that like entitled, like, well, my parents should have, well, my mom is like, okay, they put you to school. They did what they were supposed to do as parents. And now it's time for you to take the baton and run with it.
Exactly. I totally feel that. And you also mentioned something about, staying in your lane, but you got like 85 lanes, lady. And one of those lanes is your podcast, Jesus and Jollof. And I'm a huge fan. You're always dropping gems that I didn't even know I needed. And in a more recent episode, you entitled People Pleasing the Unlearning. You said people pleasing happens when you don't know yourself or what you bring to the table. And I felt that. And this episode was released in March. So how have you actively taken steps to unlearning people pleasing?
Well, one, I will say I don't have different lanes. I have one lanes with a couple different parts. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's all coming from comedy, and it just looks like this. So it's like if I'm an octopus, I'm here, but comedy reaches so many different spheres, and I'm able to tap into them. Now, if I'm like, I'm gonna be a cook, it's like, wait, what the heck? Wait, time out. Like, are you cooking while doing a comedy set? Like, what? How does that fit into the mix? Because that also, a lot of people, especially that I talk to in the industry, they're like, I'm like, what do you want to do? And they're like, because I'm really trying to be like a mechanic, but I'm trying to be like an actor though. But I also got rap. But real talk, I love being a janitor. And you're like, what is happening? Like, it's not focused whatsoever. And I'm like, you don't have a plan. And what that is you're just trying to pop. And you don't know what pop is. So you're trying to be like, whatever is hot today that people think is hot, then I'm trying to pop doing that. And that will always put you in a cycle where you're never going to be fulfilled. So for me, I'm just like, all right, let me walk in my lane and be like, okay. And even when I do get that, like, oh, should I be doing that? It is a check to be like, why? Why do I want to do that? Other than just to have my name in the trades. It's not really what I want to do because I can't sustain that. I may pop at it, but is it sustainable and will it bring me joy? But so just getting back to the people pleasing aspect of it, I have done a ton of work in quarantine. Saying no, ending friendships. Because I was just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Deleting people from my Instagram. And not on some like, I'm cutting you off, but just I'm like,
bye.
Hey, what are we doing? Like, if we're being honest, like what you're afraid of having this difficult conversation because you still out here trying to be liked. We ain't got time for you to be trying to be liked. If you're kind, if you're loving, if you move with integrity, if you move with grace and you have faith at the center, if somebody don't rock with you, then that is not on you. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do something to, rock the pot and you're able to be like, yo, I apologize, I own that. Understand that there are consequences for that, but that don't mean that you get stuck, because they don't grace you. It's like, listen, I ate it, my bad, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's so freeing. I had to text Lovey the other day. I think I texted Lovey and our other friend Justine. I was like, why'd y'all tell me? It was so much freeing just to be honest. Just the blessing of Abraham that comes with just being like, here's how I'm seeing this clearly. I was in a situation where I was being gaslit and I was like, I was talking about snow. How did we get to winter, spring, summer, and fall? Like, I was talking about this, and then you brought up all these other things that had nothing to do with the problem at hand. So I was able to just be like, yeah. So rather than acquiescing my power to be like, well, what do you want to do about the situation? I was like, here's what I'm going to do, and here's what I desire. We don't even have to have a conversation about it. God bless you. And it was just so empowering. And, again, nobody ever wants it to get to that point, but it's the point where you're like, I think as Black people, we have to learn, like, we can disagree without being dramatic. We can, my friend Debbie Brown has an amazing IG story, IG live that she did where it was like, we don't have to get to the point where we're throwing blows or, calling people out their names to be like, this isn't working for me. Yeah. And I don't think that we've been versed in that in doing that as well. Why do people do that all the time? They're like, we're business partners. And it's just like, you know what? We'll let our lawyers handle it. And they be on the golf course. Lawyers is going back and forth and being like, I hate you so much. And then they're like, hey, you want to take the kids to the game next week? Great. And it's like, they're still friends and there's no drama. And then at the end of the day, they can be like, yeah, we're not working together anymore. It didn't work out, but great guy.
That Paul is a great guy. And then also Christine has a question for you. Christine.
Hi, Yvonne. I really liked when you mentioned how like comedy is always at the pillar of everything that you do, be it your character on Insecure or if you're on the comedy stage or even on your podcast. So my question for you is, what pushed you to take your talents to those different platforms? And what advice would you give young women who are interested in stand-up or even creating their own podcast themselves?
You make it sound like I was like LeBron. I took my talents to Miami. I was no, for me, it was God. Like I didn't know that I was going to be in entertainment. I didn't even know I was funny. One of the things I try to tell myself is don't let you be the last one to find out that you're you. And I think, in some way, shape, or form, Bishop Jake said that in his message. I didn't know I was me. And, there's a verse in the Bible. But, for me, I honestly, I didn't know comedy was an avenue. I didn't know comedy was a, potential moneymaker. I just was like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed laughing. I enjoyed, making people laugh, but I didn't know I was a comedian. And then when God told me to do comedy, I was like, no. And then he was like, nah, for real. And, just the action of just continuously saying yes. And what I love about God is that he'll meet you where you're at. Like, he didn't say do comedy and then tomorrow open up for, Wanda Sykes. No, he was like, just say yes, get comfortable with being uncomfortable and going to an open mic and trying this out and then working in excellence and then challenging yourself. And then, when I first started, I would do comedy like it was like it was a script that was written. I was definitely afraid of forgetting my lines. And then about maybe a year or two into comedy, I saw somebody just riff on stage. And I like this excitement welled up in me of like, man, I want to get to a point where I can just do crowd work because that means I'm comfortable up here. And then that became my target and that became my goal. Now I'm like, I low-key, I'm like, I don't want to do comedy. I just want to do crowd work because that's fun. Like just talking and just seeing what comes up on the fly. I'm like, I enjoy that. But man, 9 years ago, I was like, no, what are my lines? No, I need to write out every joke. And so it's just that. What I would say is stick to your pocket. Stay in your lane because one of my good friends is Kevin on stage, Kevin Fredericks. I don't do what Kevin does. Me and technology, I will make it. Like I can't do the internet stuff. I can't do, but every night I'm like, yo, I go to sleep watching one of his videos because I think he's so amazing and he's so dope. He's so genuine. And that's the beauty of how God created all of us. Like we all have our lane. So it's like, stay inside of your lane and then we all win.
I love that. I love how you kind of tell me like trust myself when I hear that, like it makes me feel like you already know what you're supposed to be doing. And, when we see people like you doing that, it's really inspiring. So with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Brianna. She has a quick question for you.
I will say this as a caveat. Do the thing that excites you the most. I think sometimes people downplay the thing that comes so easy to them because they're like, that's easy, everybody could do it. And it's like, no, everybody can't. And even if everybody could do a version of it, everybody can't do it like you. So it's just like, do the thing that you're like, man, I used to always just love doing that. Well, start there and see what seeds, germinate from that.
Great advice. All right, Brianna, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Hi, Yvonne. How are you? I'm Brianna. I'm a product designer at Hearst. So I help make all our websites beautiful. So I love Jesus and Jollof. On the last episode, you mentioned how Molly and Issa could have handled their situation better and communicated better with the example of Molly not wanting Issa to contact Andrew. In an ideal situation, what conversations would have you, Yvonne, wanted Molly and Issa to have from the beginning?
I think it really should have just been I really didn't appreciate when you said I was mad messy or like maybe I'm my own problem. Like you already know I'm working on stuff. We've talked about this from Malibu. I'm trying and high key, I would have just been like, yo, you told me that Andrew might be, turned off for me, but like, yo, on the hike, that was Andrew. He told me I was right. Like, let's start there and then be like, yo, but how do you see me though? Like, is this how you for real see me? Because then we might have a problem. And I also, for me, just in life, like I just check myself. Like in terms of, if I'm feeling a way about a relationship or a specific person in my life, I'm like, okay, is this my trauma coming up? Does this really have anything to do with them, or is it more me? And if it's me, what evidence? You know, I go to therapy, and my therapist would be like, yo, what evidence do you have to support this notion? And I'm like, I mean, I just feel, no, I feel what feelings you have. She said, what evidence? Like in the past, are they people that would lie to you? Are they people that would keep information from you? Are they people that don't want you to succeed? And it's like, no. Okay. So again, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you have to like have the checks and balances. Because feelings are great. You got to feel them, but feelings will set you up for the okie doke.
The okie doke. Not the okie doke. It's the okie doke for me. Thank you for your question, Brianna. And now I want to quickly just talk about, well, first I want to shout out our partner, Harper's Bazaar. You know, thank you for partnering with us and supporting Hearst Black culture as you have done in the past, as you will continue to do moving forward. And when I think of Harper's Bazaar, I think of like luxury, you know, class, fit. And then that also makes me think of the Dior book tote in the airport running for your flight, and the Jacquemus dress, and the Nike off-white fit that you actually worked out in. And I want to know, what's it like working with Shiona, the costume designer of Insecure, for those who don't know?
She is amazing. It's great because like we will frustrate each other, but it's all in love. Cause you know, Molly's style is very different than Yvonne's style. And you know, Shiona is in the brand, in the world of fashion in a different stratosphere. And I'm like, does that go together? Can you let me do my job, Yvonne? I don't tell you how to be an actress. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, no worries. How's ever though, Shiona, you know? And so it's this beautiful back and forth that we have. But at the end of the day, she's also like, well, in order for you to perform at your best, you have to feel your best. And so even if like I love this outfit, if you can't rock with it in a way that makes sense for you, then we're not going to get the performance that we need from you. So it's always that back and forth. And then, you know, sometimes we be scheming like, yo, I love this outfit. You got to tell the producers this is the outfit. And then so she's like, well, you got to sell it for me. So I'm like, you know, so we have our back and forth. It's all politics. Everywhere you go, it's all politics. You know, I'll be like, I really want this. She was like, well, I'm about to take this picture. So you got pose in this joint, like this is the joint you want. I'd be like, did I sell it? And then I'm like, no, don't even take a picture of the other one. Like, I don't want them to see that one because then I don't want to wear that one. So, but she gives tons of dope options. Yeah. And, you know, she really understands the characters and their motivations and why they would be in what they would be in. Even in the episode where Molly travels, she hit me on the game. She was like, when I travel, I travel with a color scheme so that I only have to pack one or two shoes because everything matches.
I'm gonna take the note of that.
Yes. So if you notice, Molly had like mostly like earth tones because it was like, we're just gonna stay here with her closet and her outfit.
I feel that. You wanna go, Sandy?
Yeah, I know we don't have you for long, so we want to play this quick game called Black Card or Vogue. Have you heard of it before?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you might be a pro at this. So we're gonna ask, let's see, we probably will ask like 3 questions and see if you can keep your black card. So the first poll is, if you've never watched the show, you need your black card or Vogue. This is majority rules. Good Times, The Jeffersons, A Different World, A Living Color.
Oh, it's majority rules. Do I have to click it?
Yeah, go ahead. You can click which you think. And our audience play with us, so we'll see.
I'm gonna go with this one.
All right, let's see what the results are. Is that what you picked?
It was not what I picked, but I should have known my audience. See, the problem, the thing with this is you gotta know your audience. I'm like,
you gotta know your judge. Your judge.
Because I definitely picked In Living Color. Because I was, you know, I grew up in the 90s. But
Same here, same here. Next question. What was Eddie wearing in his comedy special? It's hilarious. Suede hat, Lakers jersey, red leather suit, Michael Jackson's Captain Crunch jacket.
I already answered. I'm like, not only would my black card be revoked, my comedy card would be revoked too.
Ooh, and this is a multiple choice, so there's a right or wrong answer. All right, let's see what the correct answer is.
Boom.
Oh.
Boom.
All right, we got one. Next question.
Okay.
Which TV mom is not to be trifled with? Tasha Mack, The Game, Cookie Lion, Empire, Nikki Parker, The Parkers, Mama D, Love and Hip Hop. And this is majority rule, so know your audience.
Oh, I may get this one wrong, but we gonna see.
Let's see.
I love that this is like a trust. Like, did you pick the right one? Like,
Elliot.
Tasha, because Tasha we cut
That's
through.
what I picked too. I picked Cookie.
Tasha was my personal choice, but I knew the audience would go Cookie Lion. Yes.
I feel that.
Yeah, clearly I don't know my audience because I was like Tasha.
I thought Tasha too.
So, okay, so we're going to end it off on that. Unfortunately, you do not keep your black card, but we love you anyways.
Wow. Is the whole thing's for revoked? How can I get it back?
You can always keep your black card. Emmy nominated. Yvonne.
Okay, now I got to win it. Now I got to win it to get my black card back. No pressure.
So, yes, we want to thank you so much. I know you have to run.
Yes.
We appreciate you so much for joining us. Like, you're one of our faves, and we can't wait till quarantine is over so we can really have you in the Hearst Towers and really get a good conversation going.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.
Thank you. Before you go, can we get one Zoom photo on a 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
Okay, everybody get cute. Okay, y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.